welcome to the Transfer Exchange Show. We are live, and as you can see, the score of the Manchester United game versus Fulham ended 1-1. First of all, Cavani. Edison Cavani. What a goal. What a goal. People in the comment section, hit me up. Is that one of the goals of the season? Is that the goal of the season? Tell me now. If that's not goal of the season or contender, what's been a better goal this season? Can you question the man's ability still? Can you question the year extension that he's been given? I don't think you can. He's been absolutely unbelievable when called upon this season. Yes, people will say he misses opportunities, but who doesn't? Every striker misses opportunities. He gets in the positions, and when he's scoring goals like that, goals that you couldn't even dream of scoring, you have to be happy about having him on a year extension. No Dean Henderson starting today. David De Gea was started. Was he good enough? Did he do the job? Should he keep his spot for the European final? And Manchester United could be accused of being guilty of switching off, having their minds in other games, or potentially just not giving Fulham the credit that they deserve towards the end of the game. First half, Man United looked like they were dominating, but they didn't take their chances. As I said, Edison Cavani with an absolutely exceptional goal. For me, I can't remember seeing a better goal this season so far. The vision, the audacity to take that shot was unbelievable. But the second half, Man United, I don't want to say they switched off, because I don't think they did. They were still going for the goal. They were still trying to score against Fulham. It just didn't have the intensity of a team that needed that goal. That's what it felt to me. And with that, it gave Fulham the belief. The longer and longer it was 1-0, Fulham grew in belief that they could score that goal. And I have to say, it was kind of out of nowhere. Fulham had a couple of opportunities to get in and around the box. They had a couple of opportunities. They didn't really test David De Gea too much. And then bang, Luke Shaw with a I'd have to say it was pretty weak from Luke Shaw. He kind of didn't want it when it came to the 50-50 in that challenge. Put out across to the Fulham winger, Bobby Canville or something. I can't remember his name. And then a lovely cross into the box and headed in by Brian. Man United, did they need this? They didn't. But that's not necessarily the important thing. Man United have over the last couple of games they've been stuttering. They lost to Liverpool. They've dropped points against Fulham now. Are Man United fans a little bit worried about going into the Europa League final against a very experienced Unai Emery with what, 3 or 4 European titles behind his name? Are Man United fans a bit worried? Hit me up in the comment section. Do they think it was fair that Dean Henderson got dropped? Is this a clear sign that David De Gea is starting in goal against Villarreal? I'd say David De Gea did well enough tonight to start. But let me know your thoughts. Paul James, wrong team play tonight. Too many players with other things on their minds. Do you know what, Paul? I couldn't accuse the players of that in the first half, but the second half it felt like that. It felt like it was at 1-0. There was 15, 20 minutes to go. And the players will know that. The players will know it's kind of that countdown thing. There's only 2 games left and there's 15 minutes to this game. It's 1-0. We've got this in the bag. We don't really need to push that extra. And this is what happens. As the commentators said, you cannot switch it on and off. You can't, in a game, you can't switch it on and off. In a game, you certainly can't switch it on and off with regards to you going into a game with a mindset that you're going to trounce a team. I'm not saying that's what Man United thought today because I don't think they did. But let's just for example, you're going into a mindset that you're going to trounce the team. It's going to be a breeze. That team ain't having none of it. Now you've got to switch your mindset. Very hard to do. You go into a game where you want to play defensive and play for a draw and you go behind. It's very hard to switch that mindset. And it's exactly the same when you've got your mind on another game, you've got your mind on a European final. It's very hard to not, because I don't want to accuse Man United of going through the motions because I don't think they are. But it's very hard to go into games not fully focused on that game and then switch it on in the European final. You need form. And I think Villarreal won their last game. I will check because we do want to be factually right on here. Yep, Villarreal. This is the thing, yeah. Villarreal beat Sevilla 4-0 on Sunday. They beat Valladolid 2-0 in the previous game on the Thursday. They've got Real Madrid on Saturday, a very tough game, followed by Manchester United on the Wednesday. Now they'll be going into that Real Madrid game fully focused, as this is a practice match for the final, because that's as hard an opponent you're going to get in the Liga to compare it against Man United. So they're going to be up for that. And Man United, they do have to be mindful. They need to go into this next game. Who have they got in the next game? They've got Wolves. Wolves next on Sunday, last game of the season. Man United need to go there for a win and take that form into the final to bring home the trophy. Paul says, young kids against Leicester, full team tonight. Very strange. Yeah, I mean, it's... I know what you mean. Maybe he wants to see what them young kids can do. He wants to see if there's any of them kids in the team that can do it. It's a strange one. I think what it is, Paul, is Man United needs to put a full team out tonight because that team needs to be ready for the European final. They can't go into that European final underprepared. They can't go in there into that European final losing games. So they need to have a. They need to be. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer needs to be prepping his team, and he needs to have a consistent team. That's why I think you saw Dean Henderson out the team tonight, because you can't have David De Gea only play one game or no games prior to the final, and he needs to be playing around the team that he's going to be playing with as well. It's just how it works. So I kind of understand. I get where he's coming from. Is there any danger of Man United dropping out of that spot? They've got that spot. They've got second spot. So, well, you've got to lose the next two. So Leicester have to beat Chelsea tonight as well, and that's a big ask because Chelsea are also playing for that full spot to make sure they don't get pipped by Liverpool. So, yeah, it's a hard one a tough pill to swallow. Because it does, on paper, you're thinking risk, but I can actually see his foresight there. Not only his fault. David De Gea must start every game from now on. Kate, you're right. You're absolutely right. David De Gea, he started tonight. For me, my personal view. So we'll get to you in a second, Luke. My personal view is I'll play De Gea all day long. I'll be playing De Gea all day long. De Gea's had an up and down couple of years, but I don't think you can question his ability. Whereas Dean Henderson, and I've said it in previous podcasts, I think if you go to the England Select 11 podcast, I said that I think Dean Henderson's another Jordan Pickford. I think he's a very good goalkeeper, but I think as all English goalkeepers come out, we overrate our goalkeepers. We massively overrate our goalkeepers, and when it comes to the next new thing, the next new shining light, we big them up and we put them on a pedestal, which is that they're going to be better or they're better than what's there. And I don't see. I think Dean Henderson's a good goalkeeper, but I don't. He's not world class. I don't even think he's top class. I think he's top class backup. I don't think Dean Henderson's a Man United goalkeeper. Dean Henderson isn't going to win you Man United a league, if I'm honest. And Man United haven't got time to have a goalkeeper in there that's learning his trade. They did that with De Gea, and they managed to get away with it because De Gea is world class. They did it with De Gea had a baptism of fire, should we say, into the English game, where he got bullied for a little while. But that didn't last long. And then he came through. No, Luke. No one said. Come on. Did I? We can rewind it back if you want. No one said that Henderson's a bad keeper. No one said that. I just said that I think that Henderson is as good as Jordan Pickford, and I don't think Jordan Pickford's a bad goalkeeper. So that's your assumption. I don't think Jordan Pickford's a bad goalkeeper, and I don't think Henderson's a bad goalkeeper. I just think he's overrated. I don't think. Luke, are you telling me you think that Dean Henderson will be a world-class goalkeeper? Come on, I know you can type quicker than that. You're telling me Dean Henderson will be a world-class goalkeeper. When was the last world-class goalkeeper we had in England? We can say Joe Hart was world-class. Top draw. He had a couple of seasons where he was up there. But when we're talking about world-class goalkeepers, no one in the world was looking at Joe Hart and saying he was world-class, apart from in England. And that's the thing. Paul says Henderson's not ready. Okay, maybe he's not ready, but we're talking about Man United here. Yeah, we're talking about Man United. Let's not forget about that. We're not talking about a Newcastle. We're not talking about a Villa. No disrespect to Villa and Newcastle, but we're not talking about teams that are generally in and around mid-table. We're not talking about teams that have come up from the Championship. We're talking about Manchester United, the biggest team in the world. Yeah, and Paul, you're saying Henderson's not ready. So if Henderson's not ready, then he's not good enough. Now, I'm not saying he's not good enough forever. I'm saying he's not good enough now. And this is what you've got to understand. A goalkeeper, yeah, is the cornerstone of your team. Now, if your goalkeeper is not ready, then your team's not ready. Tell me a team that has won anything with a goalkeeper that is not one of the best players in the team. You can't. Because every team has a world-class goalkeeper. Big difference. You're talking to a goalkeeper here, so this is why I'm a goalkeeper. We used Schmeichel, De Gea, Van der Sar. Thank you. Kate. And this is what I'm saying. I'm not saying Dean Henderson is a bad goalkeeper, yeah? But he's not De Gea, he's not Schmeichel, and he's not Van der Sar. Henderson don't go at the end of that list. I'm sorry, he doesn't. And it's the reason why Man United are probably looking at Donnarumma as well. Because they don't believe that Dean Henderson is the guy to lead Man United forward in the sticks for the next five years. Because that's what you look at a goalkeeper for. It's long standing. It's not a one season, two. It's boom. They're there for a good solid few years. He's not ready. So if he's not ready, he's not good enough. And that's it. All right? I'm not saying no one said Dean Henderson's rubbish. No one said Dean Henderson's trash. Yeah? I just compared him to Jordan Pickford because I feel exactly the same has happened. He came from a team that was relegated, was peppered with shots week in, week out. There's a difference between a goalkeeper, yeah, that gets peppered with shots week in, week out, and a goalkeeper that has nothing to do for the game, but then when he's called upon, makes that vital save, makes the vital catch. calms the defence down. I don't know whether Dean Henderson's got that in him. And I don't think he has, if I'm honest. Maybe I'm being harsh. But it said a lot for Dean Henderson not being in goal. Cavani, excellent. Yeah. Man United fans, realise what you've got there, because he's a wily striker, very intelligent, tough. He's everything that every team should have. Every team should have a Cavani in their team. He's unreal. Every team, man. 30, whatever, who cares? Because his experience will take through. Thank you very much, Carla. And this is what I'm saying. Again, I'm not digging out Dean Henderson. Please, yeah. Alisson. There we go. Ederson for Man City. World class. Attribute. Distribution. One-on-ones. He makes himself big. World class. And again, I'm not digging out Dean Henderson, but he is not in that bracket. And all these other goalkeepers, and we could talk about, and look, Henderson is not ready, yeah? Now we go back to all them other goalkeepers, yeah? How old was Ederson when he got to Man City? Young, but he was ready. How old was De Gea when he went to Man United? Young, but he was ready. How old was Alisson? A little bit older, to be fair, so probably not the greatest example. But these other goalkeepers were also young, but they were ready when they went in, and that's the difference. That is the key difference. Who else played well for it? Come on, Man United fans, hit me up with who else you thought played well. Who was your man in the match tonight? It wasn't all doom and gloom. As I said, 1-1. It's still in your hands for that second spot. I didn't realise that it was so close. I think you're 1 point ahead. That's why we won't win the title, with the mark. There we go. Look, there's a lot Man United need to win the title. I think they need Harry Kane. You get a Harry Kane in there. You bring in a Rafael Varane, and I think you're 2-3 points closer to Man City. Maybe another winger, but like world class. I know Sancho's off the table. Apparently, it's one of them ones. We'll see. But if there is a world class winger out there, Man United bring him in. If Man United bring in 3 players, a centre back like in Varane, a sort of that player, if they can get in a Harry Kane and they can get in a juicy winger, you're serious title contenders. And potentially this man here, Donnarumma, because he's, again, came in young and he was ready. He came in young, went into the AC Milan team. Okay, AC Milan hasn't been the AC Milan that have been, they're starting to get back to where they were, but they haven't been the same AC Milan. But with playing for a team like AC Milan, just the name's the pressure. Just that name is pressure. So Donnarumma was ready. Luke. Make sure you catch our show tomorrow, yeah, because we've got a little bit of info on the Harry Kane situation. Yeah, I know, but look, Luke. It's going to happen. It's how Tottenham recover from that, and it's who they look to bring in. I don't think it's a situation how they dealt with the Bale situation previously, where they go out and buy 10 players to replace one. I think you've just got to go out and buy maybe 2, because Harry Kane is kind of 2. But going out and buying 4 or 5 players to replace Bale didn't work. So hopefully they learn from that and go out and buy a top draw striker to replace Harry Kane as well, because I think he's done his time there. And I think it's one of them ones where, yes, you want the money for him and you have to get every single last pinch of penny and drop of money for him that you can. But I think it's one of them ones where it's like, let this gentleman's agreement go through and let him find his club, because you haven't been able to deliver the trophies that you maybe promised him, that you tried your hardest to get. So yeah, there we go. And look, like you're saying there, Jack Grealish. If you bring in a Jack Grealish with the Harry Kane money and a top draw striker, I mean, how many other clubs have got Harry Kane and are doing better than Tottenham? There's quite a few. So Harry Kane isn't the be all and end all for Tottenham. I think you just got to go for a different strategy. All right. Yeah, people, apologies for my not so great Manchester United post-match reaction. I tried my best. I'm not a United fan. So, yeah. And I'm on my Todd as well. So, no Nathan, no Lee. But it's all right. We've done it together, people. Thank you very much, Luke. Bosh, regular. Thank you very much, Kate. Kate, what was the score? What score did you put down? Because I know you didn't pick a 1-0 against Fulham. All right. Thank you very much, Carla. Thank you again, as you said. Thank you very much, Paul. You saved the day there for the starter, mate. Absolute legend. Saving me with a couple of questions as well and a couple of reactions yourself. As I said, people, Kate knows. Kate went 4-0. Way off. All right, let's see what these guys said. I don't think they wrote it down. Not to worry, not to worry. Yeah, as we said previously, I am giving away a retro pillow of whatever team you support. So, Luke, get your score predictions in. We'll see if we can. There's Tottenham ones there. Kate, get your Man United predictions in, better than you have been previously. Carla, make sure you get your Liverpool predictions in. And Paul, again, I didn't see your prediction there, Paul. Don't be shy. Get it in next time, all right? You've got Wednesday and obviously the Europa League final. People, peace out. Yeah, stay safe.